What's going on, guys? This is Pikachu OTC from Simple Trade, and welcome to another weekly review. In this review, we'll talk about some runners from the past week, but like most of our weekly reviews, we'll talk about some stocks that dropped dramatically and dropped drastically due to one stock, and that stock is JPEX. And as you can see on the chart, the stock dropped from the high point of the day to the low point about 66% in one day, and actually it was only in a couple of hours. You can see massive volume, 537 million volume of selling power. Now, if you are not familiar with the stock JPEX, make sure to watch the previous videos of JPEX to understand the full story of that stock. Basically, this is an alpha reach custodianship stock that has gone through a merger procedure. Now, the reason that the stock dropped so hard, so fast, was due to a motion to oppose termination of the custodianship that was filed by one of the JPEX old shareholders. That means that he will not let the merging company enter JPEX, as he opposed to the termination of the custodianship. He does not want Alpha Ridge to release the ticker JPEX to the new merging company. Now, JPEX is the leading company of Alpha Ridge custodianship stocks, and as that stock went down so hard, the other Alpha Ridge custodianship stock got a sympathy and they started to drop down drastically as well. You can see right now ILST as well dropped down from the 0095 almost to 0055, about 40% drop of price in just a couple of hours. We can also look OCLG, and you can see that OCLG also dropped drastically from the 0045 to the 0025, almost 45% drop of price. And almost, if not all, of Frank's, aka Alpha Ridge custodianship stocks went down and closed the day red. Now let's go back to JPEX one more time and see what happened after hours. Alpha Ridge, or Opportunity Zone Capital, which is the same company, tweeted a screenshot of the court file, and as you can see right here, it says, "Therefore, court orders for good cause appearing and after review of the motion to discharge custodianship is hereby granted, and the matters scheduled for February 23rd and February 24th on motion calendar is hereby vacated." So to keep it all short and simple, the whole opposition for the termination of the custodianship was declined, and basically these massive sellings were for nothing. Now, there can be a lot of speculation of what happened here and what happened behind the scenes, but let's remain and keep to the facts. The stock went down 65% in one day and closed around the penny mark. And on Monday, it will be very interesting to see, as it is sitting right now at a very low price considered to the market cap of JPEX. But I will leave you guys to do the due diligence over the weekend and make your own trading plan to that stock. It could be very risky and it could also be very rewarding. And from here, we will move on to the second stock of this weekly review, and that stock is BLLB. The stock went up 1,200% in about 2 weeks, and the reason for that is that the stock was a caveat emptor stock, and they removed the caveat emptor on January 24th, and you can see it right here on the chart. There was no volume almost whatsoever for a couple of months, and then massive volume coming in. And the reason for that is because of brokers' restrictions, as they do not allow to buy caveat emptor stocks. So the minute that the stock removed the caveat emptor sign from the OTC markets, multiple brokers could have bought the stock, and they bought the stock for a 1,200% run from the day before the removal of the caveat emptor, or if you would like, a 465% run from the low of the day on the day that you could have bought that stock. Now, BLLB is a pink current information stock as of today, with a very good share structure, almost 700 million shares only for the float. And on February 1st, the company released a tweet saying that updates are coming in February. Management is committed to creating real, sustained value for BLLB shareholders. Stay tuned. Now, what I find very interesting in BLLB is the fact that the CEO of the company is Kim Sue Halvorson, which is a very well-known woman in the OTC in some stocks overall. She was in charge of MJWL before the merger, the $150 million acquisition. She was the one behind ICOA before the whole $420 million acquisition. So she has a very impressive track record, and it will be interesting to see what kind of acquisition, if at all, she will bring to BLLB. So keep your eyes out for BLLB for the updates in February. And now let's move on to the third stock of this weekly review, and that stock is ELRA. And the first thing that you see right here, massive volume coming in. 1.3 billion shares was traded during that day. The stock rised about 145% with very high liquidity. You could have made a lot of money during that day, and the reason for that is article of merger that the company, or should I say the so-called company, released on February 3rd. And inside the file you can see that the entity name that is so-called merging with ELRA called NFT Incorporation. Now, if you're not familiar with the ELRA story, make sure to go to the previous videos in our channel to view the ELRA review and then come back to this video. Now, the second that these articles of merger was released, our Discord channel alerted it first. Now, I'm not saying that it alerted the fact that there was an article of merger. I'm saying that we alerted the fact that this was probably a fake filing. And indeed, it was fake filing that was clarified a day later. Now, how did we know that it was a fake filing? We knew that because we have a very experienced traders in our Simple Trade Discord community. We saw the front loading that happened right here 2 days earlier to that article of merger announcement, and combining with articles of mergers that have happened in the past that was false with the state of Nevada, we got to the conclusion that it was most probably a fake filing, and you should be very cautious with the trade during that day. And 1 day later it was confirmed and we were right. So if you want to get a true value and true lessons on the OTC, go to our Discord channel and join our community. And also, if you want to know how you can gain much money from these kind of things in the OTC, even though it was fake filing, you should go and check out the OTC Oracle course, as this is one of the patterns that is taught over there, and you will learn how to take advantage of these kind of situation and how to make money out of them. Now let's move on to the final stock of this weekly review, and that stock is PRMO. So PRMO ran about 60% in only 2 days with massive 800 million volume in 1 day. And if you're not familiar with PRMO story, make sure to go and watch the previous video in our YouTube channel to understand the story right here. Now, the reason that the stock rise 60% in only 2 days is due to the fact that they filed to the Secretary of State the amendment filings for PRMO. And if you go inside that filings, you can see that Rhonda Kiviani, which was the former CEO of that company, was removed and was replaced by Saeb Janoun. And if you add that up to the fact that the motion to discharge the custodianship was already granted, you can pretty much assume that the reverse merger was completed. So this is a very fresh story right here. This story just begins. Make sure to keep your eyes out on PRMO and look for OTC markets updates in the next few weeks, because we might see some news regarding the reverse merger. That was it about the weekly review. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop a like, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss the future content. If you're not in our Simple Trade Discord community yet, the link is down in the description, and I wish you all a green and a profitable week.